Okay, folks, we're going to talk about setting up a brooder for chicks. Mine is partially set up. They're due to hatch on the 26th. This is the 21st, I think. And so I just want to show you how we're going to do this. Now, this is a rabbit cage. This is like a 17 by 28 rabbit cage, or 18 by 30, I think they would call it. But I'd measured the floor space itself. So this is 3.3 square feet, basically. They say it's too small to even start chicks on, but I started Bash in this thing, and Hector in this thing, and I did all the Dirty Dozen in this thing, which they're bantams, but at that age they're kind of all small. But anyway, so we've got the feeder here. This long feeder actually works a little bit better than some other feeders. Now, what I like to do, and I may do it, is put duct tape across this back side, because they are going to roost on that no matter what. They don't dig out as much feed, but they tend to roost on it and sit on it. So I think I'll have to put my duct tape on that back end. I've got paper towels in the bottom. Never put newspaper in a chick brooder. Ever, ever, ever. It will result in spraddle leg. S-P-R-A-D-D-L-E. I heard somebody on YouTube call it spraggle leg. It's not spraggle, it's spraddle, where their legs are splayed out. Because it's slippery, and poop is slippery, and they slip on it. So you don't want that. You want, at least for the first few days, until they can understand what their color their food is. I'm not going to put pine shavings in here in a few days. I'll put pine shavings in there instead of just the paper towels. So there's that. Now this is a reptile bulb right here that I've got it heating with. It's ceramic reptile bulb. It doesn't put out as much heat as a big 250 red. However, it puts out adequate heat, and it doesn't leave them any light at nighttime. That is why I have over here a night light that's triggered by light or darkness or whatever, and so the night light will kick in at night, so they're not in the dark. Now the water. This is a quart waterer. It goes fine. It'll fit through this rabbit cage hole just fine, right here. And I put it up on these blocks so it wouldn't get shavings all in it. The rocks are in there because chicks can actually drown in that waterer. They'll fall asleep in it, believe it or not, and they can drown. So I'm going to have to take it back out and actually put the water in it. But this is what I do. This is river rocks. This is a bunch of river rocks I have. And I just put them down there, and they have to reach between the rocks to drink. It's just safer for them. And when they get too rambunctious, I'll raise the height of that water up. I have a fireplace brick, and I raise the height of the water with that. I'll sit it right on top of this piece of wood, and they'll have to step up there to go to the water, which they learn to do. Now, according to this right here, this is 95 degrees in here. I'm sorry, the outside that's the outside temp. This is the inside temp. So right under that's 95 degrees. Always put your heat on one end of the brooder. Don't heat it the whole brooder, because they need to get out from under it. You can overheat it. And usually, what I used to do is put apple cider vinegar, the organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, the sediment with all the vitamins and minerals. Put a teaspoon in a quart waterer. I think this time I'm going to use this here just because I already had it for Bodhi. It's just like you see electrolytes, probiotics, and oregano. And you just put in a quart, you'd put a quarter of a teaspoon in there. So a teaspoon per gallon. And I think it helped Bodhi try to get back to recovery a little bit, and I'm going to do that for the chicks this time. This is for all age chicks. And they don't go into, the turner comes out tomorrow. I candle tomorrow, and then I lay them on their sides. I have these for marking the chicks from the different breeding groups. They're from 3 different pens. Only one pen had all 6, has 6 eggs in it. So if all 6 hatch, I may need to, I don't know if there's even as many as 6 of any one color. I think there's 4 or 5. Depends on how many hatch. I may have to use 2 of similar color, like brown and gray, for the bigger group if all 6 hatch, and the other group has 2 and one has 3. So we're ready to go, and that's the way you set up your brooder. Now we're going to get these chicks out of here within about 3 weeks, and they're going to go out to the barn with heat lamp. So anyway, that's how you set up your brooder. Rabbit cage makes a great initial brooder if you're raising bantams, because you see it just, if you know rabbit cages, it just flexes to close like that, and then comes open like this. So easy. Don't leave this open, because let me tell you, they will jump up here in no time. Just don't leave it open. The reason I have a towel over one end of the brooder is because down there at that end of the table is the floor register for the heat pump, and that's always blowing air, and I don't want them to have any drafts, so that blocks off that draft. So anyway, there's that. And here's my dividers for my incubator that I got. Yep, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to take all the turner trays out, candle, be sure they're all still viable, and put this in there. And I only have 3 groups, but I may end up having to put the bigger group into 2 different spaces. We'll see. So anyway, that's just while they dry off in the incubator. Then they go in this brooder. So I hope that helps. This, like I said, this is only 3.3 square feet. People recommend over 5 square feet for the brooder, but that's if you're planning on keeping them in there for, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. Mine don't stay in there that long. So there you go. Any questions, put them below.